Hey friends, it's me, Stephanie, and my little Peter Pan, otherwise known as Celeste. And I have my first Mercari local pickup that I want to share with you. I've never done one of these before, so we're gonna go through this and see how this works together. Okay, so the first thing I noticed is you cannot schedule a pickup on your computer. It is mobile app only, so I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do, and we're gonna do it together. Okay, so here's the item that I have. It's a Starbucks mug. Oddly enough, unfortunately it wasn't something really big or heavy that had to be picked up, but okay, so it's gonna ask me to confirm my address. I'll click next. And then it says what time works for you. I'm just gonna click the earliest slot. Next. Let's leave a note to the driver. Like a love note or something? Okay, what's best for pickup? I'll leave the item outside, meet me at the door, or meet me outside. I'm not gonna catch me outside, so I'm just gonna leave the item outside so they can just come whenever at my front door. And I'm gonna put a quick little note on here because sometimes people, for some reason, cannot find my house. Okay, so I left a little note about what my house looks like because for whatever reason, people have a hard time finding my address, so I'm gonna leave that into the notes there. And I'm gonna go ahead and confirm that. Okay, it says, get your package ready. If your item is small enough to fit in a bag, please do so. If it's fragile, pack it up with care. Please label your item for Uber to, and then it has the person's screen name, then it has my address, pickup ETA is 5 o'clock. And then I also got a text alert confirming my pickup time. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that item and I'm going to wrap it up so it's nice and secure for the driver. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a box just to be sure that it doesn't break. So this is the item. It's a Starbucks ceramic tumbler. Now I paid about $2 for this. I got this last Christmas, and unfortunately this is not a huge item that's gonna be picked up. That's gonna save me a lot of time. But I do want to go ahead and make sure it's wrapped securely because I don't know this delivery driver from Adam's House Cat. I don't know how they're gonna, if they're just gonna throw that thing in the back of their car with reckless abandon or what. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna wrap this up. Okay, there's my item all ready to go. Now, if this would have been like a clothing item or a stuffed animal or something, I wouldn't have packed it up so securely. But I want to make sure it's going to get there safely with no negative feedback from me or the driver. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up my door. Okay, so now I'll just wait for the Uber pickup and I'll catch up back up with you shortly. Well, it's sometime later, it's almost 10 o'clock at night, and I just realized that the Uber driver did not come pick up my package to be delivered. So I never got a notification on my phone that they didn't come. I just kept getting notifications that they were on their way. I got a couple different ones. And I saw somebody pull up in my driveway around the time that they should have, picked up, so I just assumed that it was them and didn't think anything of it. Well, it must have been somebody turning around because the package is still here. So it wasn't easy to reschedule on my end. Again, like I said, there's no notification. There's no option for me to reschedule it. So I had to chat with Mercari support, which thankfully was really easy. I got connected right away on a support chat, and they're supposed to come tomorrow at 9 a.m. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it's the next day, and we finally had a successful pickup, but did have some issues along the way, of course. So this morning the driver called me and said that he could not find the house. He said that he was in the neighborhood, but he did not have an address, which I thought was odd. So he made it in the subdivision where I live, which is a pretty good sized subdivision. And he was like, well, I'm on Oak right now. And I'm like, well, which one? Because all the streets in my neighborhood are named the same thing. They just have different endings. So like there's Oak Street, Oak Way, Oak Parkway, Oak Boulevard. It's incredibly confusing, and then it kind of changes over to like Maple Street, Maple Way, Maple Parkway. It's really idiotic. It's like a labyrinth. Some sadist came up with this idea of doing the street names like this. Anyways, luckily he was only a few blocks over. I was able to give him directions to where my house was. So I'm glad he had my phone number to call me, so that was good. So after I talked to him, I told him right where my house was, what it looked like and everything. He found it really easily. He came right up to the door, picked it up. And so what happens after that is in his system, he marked that he had picked up the item and then it was on the way. So they pick up the item directly from you and they bring it directly to the buyer immediately afterwards. So all that showed up in my system, but the buyer still does have 3 days to rate me, or it goes to auto rate. Just like if I was having something sent out through like UPS or USPS or something like that. Anyway, so I do recommend that you pack up your item just like you're gonna ship it out. You just don't know if it's gonna go on a joyride with Kevin Hart or if it's gonna be like the safari ride at Animal Kingdom. And you just don't want someone to know what you have if you have something especially valuable. You just wanna make sure it's all packed up and ready to go. Okay, so my first local pickup, it went okay. I'm glad customer support was able to help me immediately like they were and reschedule it. They really do need to make a system where it lets you know if the driver is not gonna be able to pick that up and allow the seller to reschedule it immediately themselves. That is a definite flaw in the system. Otherwise, it went pretty okay. It's a new system, so we'll just hopefully it gets better. So good morning. It's the day after Christmas, and last night I got an order for another Mercari local pickup. So I scheduled it for this morning, 8 a.m. It is now almost 8:20. I have not gotten a confirmation of when this order is going to be picked up by Uber. And actually when I went to go prepare the order, this time it didn't give me the instructions about, you know, putting a label on it to say who it was for. There's none of those instructions there that I had from my first order. So I have a feeling this is going to be another order gone wrong or order with an issue. I think I'm going to give it to like 8:30 to see if I get a confirmation. We'll see what happens. Okay, so right after I shot that last scene, I got a message from Mercari that the driver was going to be on the way and be here around 8:31. They did not show up until almost 9 o'clock. And the guy called me, the driver called me and said that he was here from Uber Eats or Mercari pickup. He said Uber Eats first, so I'm assuming they use the same drivers. Anyways, I told him, you know, the package was by the door, if he could come and get it, and he just kind of seemed apprehensive about it for whatever reason. I don't know why. So I walked out to his car. You know, good thing I don't care. I'm wearing my crazy cat lady robe. It is, again, 9 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, so that was interesting there. So the pickup was scheduled for 8 o'clock. He didn't come until 9 o'clock. I did not leave this one out at the door overnight because it was a more valuable item. Okay, so it seems like the Mercari pickup times that you select are just a suggestion. So I don't know how exactly Uber works for just getting, you know, picked up, you know, as a human. But I'd be really upset if I waited almost an hour to get picked up myself. So, and I did need to be home for this, which was also kind of a disappointment because the guy didn't even come to my door. I'm sure maybe they're supposed to, but he didn't. And then also the one that I had, you know, previously this week, the guy didn't have the right address. Okay, so will I use Mercari pickup again? Probably, but it was not as seamless and as easy as they make it out to be. You still have to pack up your item. Personally, I sealed my items just so the driver doesn't run away with it like it's, you know, taken or something. I don't want him to do bait and switch. And then I still had to wait for the driver to show up. I still had to walk the item out to the driver. It really didn't save me any time at all. The only good thing is the buyer's gonna get their item today. I still do have to wait up to 3 days to get rated, so it's not like I get paid any sooner. You know, so there's really not a whole lot of, you know, extra bonus pluses to it. It is just an extra service. So maybe I got these sales because I was local and the person could get them right away. I don't know, but just don't think it's gonna save you really any time. Okay, so that's gonna end it for this video. Please leave me a comment down below if you've ever done a Mercari pickup or if you consider doing one. If you like this video, you like this content, you liked us in our jams, please give us a great big thumbs up. And if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next time. Bye! Bye!